our experience, if we can give some like advice to your listeners or like sharing some insights, for us was kind of easier. As we were targeting like a new team, created a new use case, right? Like the AI governance part. If you go to a bank and you sell like compliance, like financial compliance, or you go to a bank and you sell replacing some developer team or something like that, it will be way more complicated than if you sell to a new ICP that has recently joined the company with a new role, a new department, and that, in our experience, for sure, I don't know in all the cases, but that has speed up things that in other terms would have taken like, I don't know, like half year or 1 year to pass all the compliance and all the acquisitions steps to go to a medium market or even enterprise. But with these dynamics of new departments, like spotting new departments, new capabilities, has been a bit easier for us to.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Mini CEO podcast. Today we have Anna and Carlos here, and they are not in Malaysia, they are in Spain right now. Anna and Carlos, can you please briefly introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Audrey, for having us today. As you said, my name is Anna. I used to work as a lawyer here in Spain in one of the most prestigious law firms, which is called Cuatro Casas. But 1 year ago, I made a decision that changed my life. I left my promising career in law and I started to study computer science and machine learning. And right now, a year after that, I found a deep tech company precisely to help with the compliance and simplify this process, which is super hard right now. And this is everything about me.
This is Carlos. I've been like in the data machine learning space for 8 years. I started my career focused on finance, on credit scoring, financial consuming, and so on. And in my last position, it was like a job marketplace in Europe, in a unicorn here in Spain. Like a data scientist, like in building and putting into production models and machine learning models. That's it. We just found our idea, our company, because it's like in the intersection of both worlds, and it's a pain that I detected in the technical side and see also in the legal side. So that's why we are super excited building Contrasto.
Right, so Contrasto.AI is the name. I remember you had a different name for your startup previously. I think it's called Solo Unicorn. Was it?
It was. We started more like solopreneurs, bootstrapping the company. So we wanted to help other solopreneurs or small companies to automate things with AI. It was a lifestyle or something like that, but we early found that it was a very crowded market. The value we provide with automations, it was not worth, because they were so small. So the accounting task or all the tasks that we were going to automate were small. And when we went to bigger companies, like mid-market companies, the pain was like different, right? Like they had the compliance pain, the trustworthy pain, the observability, and that's why naturally that resonated with my experience, with her knowledge in law. So that's why that we kind of early pivot.
We detected a big bottleneck in the compliance part because a lot of companies that are developing AI and put this product in the market, they are required to have these guardrails, to have these AI policies, because the market is demanding some safety measures. So we detected that bottlenecks, and this is the reason why we pivot a bit.
Yeah, we were so sad to leave solo unicorns behind, but yeah.
I wonder,
Right.
since then you try to merge like between the both worlds, the lawyer side of things and the technical side of things. So when have you started building, since Solar Unicorn until now? How many months have it been that you work on this idea?
I would say like from January or so, right? Like
from January, February, we started to building the product.
yeah.
During the under program, we developed the idea.
Talk with potential customers, like refine a bit the idea. Some assumptions were correct or they're not.
We validate the problem.
Yeah, so we started building the product in January.
This year.
It took this year.
Right.
January 2025. And now, just a few weeks ago, we ended the MVP and we have some traction now and some users are already using it. And good feedback. So we are super happy now.
So it has been almost 6 or 7 months, and how is your journey? Is like, do you just focus on building, or while you build your first MVP, do you also validate with customer, or do you have like basically sign a letter of intent, LOIs, or already have paying customer that who are interested? How is that like besides just building?
The journey. Yeah, I think that we started like validating the idea, signing some LOIs, but from thin air, right? Some just from the idea, or okay, if I solve this for you, it will be helpful at this approximate price and so on, right? So that was like the first stage. Then we started to build because when we had those interests, we needed to. They need to see something, right? Some product, something. And I would say that now is one of the best times in the whole time to be building a startup, right? Because the tools that we have now, you can create MVP, CC. So the first versions were like more like iterative, like minimum versions. And it was like a messy work of building product, talking to customers, applying for grants, I don't know what not, right? The legal part.
Yeah, we are doing a lot of different tasks. We have split the work. He's more in the building part because he's the tech guy. I am more in the customer marketing, content creation part. But it's super fun.
Multitasking at the greatest extent, but we are enjoying it. And it was like a few weeks ago that we had like a robust product because at the beginning it's easy for iterate to have some mock-up with AI or something, right? But at the end, when users log in, they will start clicking in all the places. They expect like high quality also, right? I think that the standard has increased. It's not only a beautiful UI, but also some functionality, right?
And more in this world, compliance, you have to offer real value in the very beginning.
Yeah, for the mid-market or enterprise in compliance, you need to have higher standards, right? It's not the same like B2C or something. So that's why it took a bit for us. And now is when we have something more robust.
That's great to hear. So it's more focused on B2B, right? Who would be your ideal customer or like ideal customer profile that you would think is best suited for your startup to buy your solution?
Yeah, we are focused in medium to big companies and scale-ups because they have the main pain right now and the budget to buy our tooling.
Yeah. And regarding our RCP, what happened is that we are now in a crucial moment, so we don't want to oversell or something. But like we are solving the pain for those that have the responsibility of compliance of AI, right? So yeah, it depending the company, it takes some role or other, but compliance officer, blah blah blah, right? We are solving that like legal pain. Yeah.
So I'm not really familiar with legal things. Maybe I need to consult you if our startup runs into some issues. Not sure about
Yeah,
that,
please.
but I think we will surely be one of your customer. So basically legal. I'm sure. I think when we first heard like from the US side of things, right? They say, oh, there's a bunch of lawyers who wants to automate their work. So basically, how does I want to dive into more specific, like what Contrasto offer to your clients. So basically, in more specific, what kind of use cases or real world scenario that your solution can provide for enterprises or big customers that you target?
Okay. First of all, I think it's important to understand the regulations.
Yeah.
Because this new regulation is super technical. What does mean? It means that you don't need just to prepare a lot of documents, paperwork, and whatnot. You need to put real technical measures, guardrails. You have to test your models. You have a lot of technical measures. So this is not easy for lawyers to do so. So our tool just connect with all these technical tools and offer oversight across AI lifecycle. And with all this information, we can help companies to prepare the documentation and
like hyper automate AI compliance. It's like the tagline is hyper automate AI compliance for the ones that have that pain. And they already know. Our ICP, they already know the problem, and they are like reaching us, right? So yeah, that's the thing. It is a greenfield. This is a new space. So it takes different shapes depending the company, it's a bit like different, but they are aware of the good news is that they are aware of the problem, and they are kind of initially organically reaching us like to hyper automate the AI compliance.
So does that mean that does it help enterprise to adopt AI faster by understanding that the AI compliance to their company policies or whatever?
Yeah.
Does that
I would say totally. This is like the marketing, like that. This is true, but more originally, we are solving the compliance and governance pain that they already have.
Right.
So they already feel that pain. Is that clear? That we don't need to like put like better words like, hey, you can go super fast with AI adoption. That's also true. Like this is like the second derivative I could say, right? They already have this pain, the compliance pain, the governance pain, and when we solve that, the derivative is that they will go faster and so on, right? So yeah, they are kind of related, but yeah. For sure. Once they solve the governance part, the compliance part, they can innovate safer. And yeah, for example, a super simple example: an AI agent psychologist, right?
Yeah.
It's not that we like. It depends of the wording, right? It can be like we allow them to innovate and go faster. But the real pain is that they can't even operate in Europe or even not in United States without all the governance, all the compliance, all the technical measures and legal measures, right? So this is like our typical use case. AI agents in finance, healthcare, AI companion, psychologists and all that stuff that are impacting directly to customers, to lives, to finance.
The regulation is over why now, but the pain is there. I mean, you cannot put in the market something without control.
Yeah.
You know, it's like an AI agent that automates a lot of tasks. So it's crazy. You check your software, you check your product. Why don't you check your AI model? You know, the regulation is the why now. You know, but the problem is bigger than just legal.
And what we are doing is like kind of aggregating those. We are building on top of Portkey and Kong, and we integrate that vision to have the governance with other tools in the chain, in the life cycle, to have like the overview in the whole life cycle, right? Not only in one specific, like LLM evaluations or AI gateway, right? This is kind of the difference in that sense, right? But it's a good place to be. Right into production, like the AI gateway is a good thing. That was one of our first integrations for Contrasto, the AI gateway part. So we kind of build on top of that. Yeah. For experience, if we can give some like advice to your listeners or like sharing some insights, for us was kind of easier. As we were targeting like a new team, created a new use case, right? Like the AI governance part. If you go to a bank and you sell like compliance, like financial compliance, or you go to a bank and you sell replacing some developer team or something like that, it will be way more complicated than if you sell to a new ICP that has recently joined the company with a new role, a new department, and that, in our experience, for sure, I don't know in all the cases, but that has speed up things that in other terms would have taken like, I don't know, like half year or 1 year to pass all the compliance and all the acquisitions steps to go to a medium market or even enterprise. But yeah, with these dynamics of new departments, like spotting new departments, new capabilities, has been a bit easier for us to do. Also, just yesterday, I have listened a podcast of 11 Labs guy. I can send you, and it's amazing what those guys have done. Like they enter like half or more than a half of the SM 500, or I don't know, like the bigger companies in the United States and also in Spain or in Europe. Like in selling cycles of 1 month or something like that. So they explode the adoption, the sales process was amazing for an AI product. So I think it's something that we also can learn about.
I got to meet 11 Labs when they come over for a Google Meetup event here in KL, and they are actually having a office in Singapore. So they came, and then I got the 11 Labs cap, like they were giving out. So yeah, I think
this is the secret trick is to like give away some caps and some.
I don't know, is it that's the way? But they also give like free 3 months trial or credits, like to use the voice, or you can also train your voice. It's like a voice marketplace or something like that they are doing. It's awesome.
But it's amazing because they are replacing call centers. They are going to like traditional departments in super big companies, and I don't know how. We want to get inspired in their playbook. They speed up the acquisition process and the adoption, right? I don't know exactly how they explain in the podcast, and we want to investigate more. I would say it's an outstanding product. And I don't know some playbooks, some tricks they are using that speed up the sales process for B2B enterprise that usually is a bit slower.
I want to come back to your startup journey. Enough of 11 Labs. So how's your journey is like? I saw your LinkedIn post, and you guys have been very active. And I saw Anna going to, I don't know what events you go to, but you're on stage pitching. You're so awesome. So can you share? Yes, more experience. Your experience to us, like the audience to listen, like how I remember one of your posts is like you never pitched in English before, and then now you are so comfortable with it.
It was crazy. Like I don't know, maybe a year ago I couldn't imagine something like that, doing something like that, because I wasn't scared because I've been studying English since I was a child. But it's a confidence problem, I would say. But because of I have this startup and I want to make it grow, I just change my mindset. I start doing that things, and I realize that every time that I do something like that, I gain more confidence. And I don't know if I am doing in a good way or not.
Yeah,
what I can tell you is I've changed my mindset a lot, and it's helped me. It's helping me very much. And to the point that I'm enjoying all of this part.
Yeah.
I like to be on the stage and realize what I'm doing, and I don't. It's like I'm connecting to amazing people and talking with super expert in the space, in the legal space, in the governance, in the tech, and this is the most amazing part of our journey, I would say.
Meeting
the
people.
networking.
Yeah.
And when I was working in my previous company in the law firm, the connections were amazing as well, but not at this level. I don't know if you are feeling the same, but because of this, I'm expanding my network. And
getting inspired, right? Like talking with people, and we are in another level. Like when you are like
just an employee.
Employee, you don't have the chance to
talk to so many
and
people.
You don't have the motivation.
The motivation, the time.
You aspire to do it, but you don't have the motivation. Here is like you have to do it because it's your company, and you want to go from 0 to 1. Like there is no option but doing it.
Yes, that is actually true. I don't know if you get that. I think we pitched on stage before. I mean, Anna and I think we're saying we have to go pitching on stage and all that stuff. Every time before I go on stage, I feel like my heart jumped out already. As soon as it's beating so fast, I got that stage fright fear also. And then there's this, I believe in what you mentioned, like changing your mindset thing. How I changed mine, to be more specific, is that I tell myself before I go on stage, even though I'm so nervous, I say something like, I want people to know what Doing.AI is. I want them to know about a startup. Like that priority is more higher than I screw up or I say the wrong thing or I didn't know what to say, right? So when you are so confident in your solution or what you're providing, and that just came out everything like during the 5-minute speech. Do you feel that as well?
Exactly. Yeah, I think that when you talk with passion, that's enough. I mean, it doesn't matter if you are wrong, if you are not talking with the right people, but you are talking with passion, and this is contagious, I would say.
Yeah.
So for me, this is important. When you believe in your idea, when you believe in your product, and you are so passionate about that, the words like just come out from your mouth. And I would say that this is my experience in this field.
How different is it comparing to Spain startup ecosystem and Malaysia ecosystem, since you have experienced this both right now? Yeah, I mean, even though it's just a very short, like 2-3 months, but then how big of a difference it is, or it's more supportive or more resourceful or more events?
I would say that there were more events. I think that as a bigger like a bigger country, like it has more events, more like different PCs. Like you have the North Europe PCs that also come here. In Spain, we have also many. So I would say that the amount is bigger here and more events and so on, right? So that's one thing. We enjoy a lot the Malaysian ecosystem because we found that it was super young people. Like we were in some BC dinners, and half of them were like younger than us. And this is not that common here in Spain. Like here is more like this equally distributed. You have the partners, the managers are like a bit more experienced. You have like a pyramid or something like that, right? And there was crazy because everyone was young and willing to learn and willing to. So we enjoy both. I think both were supportive. Here is a bit more. There are more.
More mature.
Yeah, a bit more mature ecosystem and more players, I would say. Yeah.
Right. Then does that make raising funds harder? I mean, as you are preparing to raise again, right? Then I'm sure there's a lot more VC, like even like the whole Europe, maybe there are more funds as well compared to Southeast Asia.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. We also are looking for grants because here in Europe, we took seriously the AI governance, safety.
Exactly.
Yeah, so there are a lot of grants and also many VCs. So yeah,
And they have a lot of programs to help women in tech because there are a few companies with women in the CEO position. So
like you, like you,
no, particularly in the tech space. So we are trying to get some grants in that regard.
Yeah, I heard there's a lot of these initiatives from the government or the grant. They want to focus on women in tech, something like that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. Go for
so
grants
here
first,
you have like a short list of a lot of VCs and they refer each other, right? Maybe we have contact, for example, one later stage VC. We pitched to him, super interesting. We set like next milestones for the next round, and he introduced us like three like friends, like pre-seed funds.
Wow.
So they can check our pitch and so on, right? And we are now in that. We just started like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We are now in the middle.
I just recently learned about raising funds after talking to so many VC, and there's this thing they call it create the FOMO effect. How does that work? Is that like, for example, you book calls like almost every day for like a one-person job, like book like 3 weeks of VC calls every day, and then because the VC is gonna talk to each other, and then they will ask each other, hey, are you talking to Contrasto? And then they say, yeah, we're talking. And then or you find other VC, they will ask you, who are you talking to? So they call it the raising mode, like every day you're talking to VC to raise fund, and then they create the FOMO effect, and then they want to raise.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think that was one of our errors at the beginning when we just landed here to Spain, starting 2025. Some funds just randomly approached us, and we took that conversations, and they were like not going anywhere, right?
Yeah.
It was like we had like 3-4 calls randomly distributed, and it was good because they were contacting us, but their response were in the most of, I think 3 over 4 were like kind of no-goes, and one took some extra steps, but then we didn't manage to get the funds neither, right? So because we didn't have like the product, we had like anything, right? So it's kind of a PowerPoint that we just pivoted and rechanged like 30 times in Adler, right? So
I know.
So now, I think it's key to you manage the round, right? You manage you shortlist the VCs. If someone is approaching you, you funnel to the main process, and even there are some players that help us to have this schedule of funds and contact them. So we are getting support from one specific company or angel investor that has experience and want to join the round. And he's helping us to build the round, right? We are not asking like a super high amount of money, but still, it's interesting to have like a process to build in the round, the round. So
So I always get this chicken and egg problem talking with VC. They always ask, like, even in pre-seed, raising pre-seed funds, it's like they will ask, like, do you have the product? Do you have traction for your MVP? And then it's like, if we don't raise fund, how are we going to build? It's like a chicken and egg problem that we always get.
At the beginning, I was super angry. Well, not super angry, but yeah, like, what the fuck is happening here, right? But
it's always like that
now
happened
I'm
to us.
super, how to say, like, yeah, like I easily put in their shoes, right? So they are looking,
some metrics,
they are looking for insights, right? Something to trust you, right? For some cases, is that you already exited a company, and with a PowerPoint, you are raising 2 million per seed. For example, we have some cases here in Spain. Some general manager of a big company, starting a new company, PowerPoint, 2 million per seed, right? What the fuck? But it took different shapes for different companies, I would say. Early traction, outstanding product, outstanding founders, outstanding network, I would say, is kind of different. So there is not a playbook. I think it's almost irrational, right? Like, I can't, the VCs even can tell you like exactly what they are looking for, because it's like a rounded thing, right? Like I trust these guys in this market with this product. So it's different for each company, each founder, and yeah, and I would say not taking nothing like personal or and don't feel the rejection super deep. It's just part of the process, and just learn and keep building, keep gaining network, keep like becoming a better founder, a better product, more traction. Like it's sorry, I'm super talkative today. But yeah, like you are looking in the same direction, right? They need signs, and the signs is that your company is going to be a great company. That is what you want, right? So you are in the same boat, I would say.
And you can know that the money is for providing your product to the customer, because we have we are living in that moment now that, okay, we have an MVP, but if we want to serve those big players, we need more robust product. So we need the money to build that product to serve those clients which are interested in our product. So you have to balance these two worlds. Like, okay, I have enough interest because I have MVP and they are talking to me. The clients are showing that interest. And at the same time, I have to show the VCs that I have just interest, because I don't have a contract, because I don't have the product, I just have that MVP. And it's like, okay, I have to manage these two worlds. Okay, I have enough interest and I have enough money to build a product. It's crazy, but
that's where
at the end of the day, it's all confidence and so transparency, I would say.
Yes, I think we are in the same boat. We feel the same pain as you guys, so I totally understand that. So I know you both are in the machine learning space, and you guys, even Anna, have machine learning experience now. So what do you think of the AI space in Europe? Like, is it everyone's building AI startup more than in Malaysia, or things like that?
I think even more, I would say, yeah. I think like 90% of the startups that get investment, that get funds, are in the AI space. Yeah, I think that it's true. It's a outstanding tool to speed up and I don't know, like increase the productivity in so many industries, in so many levels, right? And yeah, I usually split in two use cases. One of them is like automated things to save time to do other things, right? Like productivity tools. But you also have the opportunity to put AI at your core of, I think that what you guys are doing, right? You put AI at the core of your product. So you are not saving administrative tasks with AI or something like that. You put AI at your core. And this is the use cases that I'm more interested in. And I think that business now and the ecosystem now is more like prioritizing, right? Because others more automated things is more like a red ocean, right? A lot of players like automating sales, automating, I don't know, like some automation that now are almost standardized and commoditized, right? You can go to Cursor and say, build me an automated sales pipeline or something like that, right? Or with Lovable, with Replit or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think so many hunger and so many need for AI core companies here in Europe, and I would say is in the whole world.
That's great. I think whatever you just mentioned, Malaysia startup ecosystem or the businesses or VC who invest in AI startup is still one or two steps behind from what you say, because they are more on focusing on automating tasks with AI. It's basically they are telling us, okay, so we have an advanced AI digital twin technology that we want to build, but actually it doesn't suit their, like, it doesn't create enough business value or impact for them in their opinion. Like, might as well I just buy a AI solution who automates stuff for me instead of using an AI digital twin to do basically coding or whatever stuff. So I think labor costs, the cost benefit, like labor cost is still cheaper than using advanced AI solution. So that's basically the challenges we face as well as an AI core company, like you said.
Yeah. I would say that you need to unlock new revenue streams. It is harder, probably. It is harder for them because they need to become innovative and think about how to use this technology in new use cases, in new channels or something like that. But I would say this is the game changer, right?
Yeah.
You can reduce costs, but it's not only that. This is kind of the easy part, but you can unlock new revenue streams, and I think this is the key point here, right? Because when you cut costs, you have a hard limit, right? Like, okay, I can fire all my company members, but this is like the minimum. And this is not like neither ideal, neither realistic or something like that, right? So I would say that it's more interesting to unlock revenue and build on top to enrich your product and build your, like, open new revenue streams and so on, right? Like, not using AI to fire people in the credit scoring thing, but to create for example, in my just talking one experience, not firing people and get rid of them, but using AI to create a new product. So in your checkout, in your web page, you can have the buy now pay later, like Klarna or some these fintech players do, right? So it's like this is like the two ways of thinking: reducing costs versus creating new products that offer new capabilities for the customer, for new value for the market. And at some point, if they are not doing it, some AI native company will do it, right?
Exactly.
So if medium-sized, big-sized companies are not willing to digital twin their company, probably some more scale-up or some startups, you can collaborate with them and they will offer and solve new problems for customers and unlock new markets, I would say.
Yeah, that is a very good point. I like that. So coming to an end, I'd like to ask something like, what are the challenges you're facing, startup is facing, and what kind of support do you look for? Even though we're in Southeast Asia, or there's listener from here, and you have been here as well. So what kind of support do you look for? Yeah.
You want to have some customers in Europe, but you set up your application. We are here to help.
Also that we can offer help. Yeah, we are now. So our ask, if you are building AI, if you want to launch in Europe or something like that, we can either automate your AI compliance and data compliance also, AI and data compliance, and we can provide also some help for your listeners. Yeah, we are here in Spain. We know the Malaysian market also a bit. We spend some months there, so we are super happy to help or something to if you are planning to launch here in Europe.
We can help.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely will reach out if we want to sell in Europe. Yeah, that is cool. Okay, thank you so much, Anna and Carlos, for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you.
Super, Audrey. I hope we can have an extra session in person.
Yeah, we will. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.